Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have a telephone call at the front desk.
Barbie was a discombobulated mess. To be upset at the film is like being upset at a dog taking a dump on the rug. It's a dog with a pea brain. It's in its nature to take a crap on the rug from time to time, just like feminists take a crap on men. It's always going to happen. Just like rain from the sky and sunshine on a warm summer's day. You can be guaranteed a feminist will take a dump on you.
Everything is sexist.
Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic.
It's clear the director and the writers spent too much time on TikTok, where I'm sure they gathered their opinions on men and the obvious oppression America seems to place on women. Ever notice that feminism only exists in first world countries? I guess when you're too busy worrying about your next meal and not staring at your smartphone all day, you don't really have time to think about being oppressed by the boogeyman, or if you're autistic.
I am processing the most triggering breakup I've had in 9 years.
Makes you think.
Now, if you're iffy on the Barbie movie, don't worry. The trans Barbie is going to reassure you. Still play the clips.
The joy in this film and also the intelligence in the film. It's, comedy with a wink. It's candy with a little bit of poison. Again, if you love Barbie, it's for you. If you hate Barbie, it's for you. It's everything.
I hope that has deeply touched you to make you want to watch the film. I have no clue what the hell they're talking about. How do I describe Barbie? Well, have you ever seen a small child doodle on the wall with crayons, right? That's pretty much the Barbie movie in a nutshell. The director was more concerned with a movie based on the idea of victimhood and oppression rather than telling a coherent story. It's all over the place. I don't know what the hell's going on. Whenever Barbie was on the screen, the movie felt like a slow, grinding episode of feminist frequency, tropes against women, that spanned about an hour. The storyline is basically, Barbie becomes flat-footed. She gets a patch of cellulite on one of her thighs. She has thoughts of crippling depression. Sounds like a Friday night for me. Or any TikTok video you see about women dating.
I am processing the
Most triggering breakup I've had in 9 years.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
She then meets up with, weird Barbie. They have a whole pointless talk that gives another unfunny SNL cast member a job for free. And then she goes to the real world to find the girl that owns the doll that's connected to her. We're skipping over the whole Ken arc about him. Anyway, they end up on Venice Beach because somehow the real world and Barbie world are connected there. But you don't see a single homeless person on the beach. And of course, being in the real world, Barbie encounters extreme levels of sexist men that's cartoonishly ridiculous. These are like the sexist men tropes from movies in the 1970s.
You are a naughty little girl. If I was your father, I would rip off that black thong underwear of yours. I would take my hand and I would spank your smooth bottom until I... Ah! 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 Ah!
But hey, we're in the modern world and nothing's changed because America's oppressive. Everyone is sexually objectifying Barbie that's a man. Whether it's construction workers, dudes walking past her, or even cops. Whoever wrote this movie has never worked a day in their life on a construction site, or has never set foot in a police precinct. Frankly, if you so much as laugh at a dude in a dress as a construction worker today, which has happened, you will lose your job. So you know right off the rip, sexually harassing attractive women is off the table. Ken is the best part of this film. Ryan Gosling is the only thing you will remember about this movie. I'm not even joking. I was all set out to hate him. By the end of the film, I love the guy. I'm buying my Kenough t-shirt now. I guess he was supposed to be the antagonist in the entire film, but really, he just came off as funny, likable, and totally based. You understand where he's coming from on every level. And you begin to root for him. Because he's not really a villain, he's a normal dude. Somehow the chick who came up with this was so far off her rocker that being a normal guy loving a woman was villainous. Oh yeah, and he brings patriarchy to Barbieville. Patriarchy and horses or something like that. And apparently everybody shaped her body-wise. but all the Kens are thin. I've seen like a couple chubby Barbies. What the hell's going on here?
It mirrors real life. If you look at any like magazine now, you'll see plus size bikinis for women, but all the dudes have six-pack abs.
Barbie seems self-obsessed, self-interested, and vapid. The girl she's meant to help turns out to be the daughter of the woman she's supposed to help. That's the big M. Night Shyamalan twist if you have the mental capacity of a gerbil. Well, anyway, the mother's married. She spends no time with her husband. And she was bored and lonely. So she decides to play with the Barbie dolls, and her thoughts of depression and unaliving herself somehow seeped off into the Barbie. The husband you literally only see for 2 scenes. And he is every emasculated father trope in a movie you've ever seen for modern day men. The daughter is absolutely insufferable and forgettable. The fact that they're trying to play it off that most teenage girls or tweens or whatever the hell she was supposed to be was some sort of strong advocate for change and not some TikTok adrenaline-fueled freakish little monster that gets all of their opinions from a Chinese phone app is absolutely laughable. But once again, it's a fantasy film. The mother also had some ending speech for being a woman in an American society that makes it so terrible for women. Frankly, by the end of her speech that I paid little to no attention to, it gave off the sort of victim segment that DSP is best known for. If only God made him a woman, he'd be so much better off in life. I guess the film was supposed to be a comedy. Maybe an allegory? Social commentary? I don't know. Honestly, the film itself didn't know what it wanted to be. And frankly, taking the Barbie movie seriously is like taking investment advice from a chronic Twitter user with pronouns in their bio that wears diaper. You can't take them seriously is the point, nor can you take this film seriously. It's just stupid modern day schlock that's hoping to become a cult classic. The cast members, such as Kate McKinnon, unfunny as ever, and she plays the weird Barbie, because frankly, playing a weird character seems to be the only thing she can do. And even that is a stretch for her as an actor. Or actress, if you want to split hairs. Will Ferrell is a goofball character in a position of power. I know, another major stretch for his acting chops as well. Frankly, his character wasn't even needed in the film. Like I said, I think it was just to give some SNL people free money. Simu is someone I don't like because he's so goddamn annoying on social media. And I was originally a fan of his because of Kim's Convenience, which he says was racist.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Oddly enough, the show was created by a Korean woman.
What's that, Stu? It's a man who created it? You sure he doesn't identify as a woman? A Korean one specifically?
Call me crazy, but oddly enough, he wasn't bad in the film. I know, shocking. Maybe he is a decent actor. And I've just reached a point in my life where I can separate the man from the art, if you want to call this art. The movie was full of scenes and moments that didn't need to exist. Will Ferrell wanted to lock Barbie in a box because Barbie's escaping was bad, but Barbie was more than willing to go back to Barbie world. So what did this solve? Nothing. It's just a plot point for a pointless chase scene. Whoopee! There was the ghost of Barbie's creator hanging out in the basement of the Mattel building, and her big joke was talking about tax evasion. And let me just say this now, I make it sound funnier than it actually was. By the end of the film, Barbie returns to Barbie Land. She makes it a matriarchy again. Ironically, the Barbies seem happier under the Kendom. But, you know, patriarchy bad, matriarchy good. We've learned nothing from this, I guess. Oh, and Barbie pretty much rejects Ken totally to do her own self-discovery. Every dude that has ever loved a woman has been in this position where the girl you asked to marry you told you, I think I need to find myself. She also then randomly decides to become human after being afraid of being less than perfect the whole film, so it made no sense to me. I won't even touch on trans Barbie because YouTube has been all over me like flies on shit. I'm also going to skip the ending sequence where, dude, it made no sense. It's like Barbie wants to be a human and we get flashes of young girls and women and stuff. It made no sense. None. It was a pointless scene. Another one. Ken is everything in this movie. He is going to be a meme on the level of Patrick Bateman for years to come. They wanted him to be a villain so bad, and he just came out looking like the best character in the film because he's Kenough. Genuinely, Ryan Gosling is the only redeeming thing in this movie. My ending thoughts. This movie is deep to people that listen to Taylor Swift. She's getting a TV show about her exes, by the way. I know you just can't wait to see it. It's feminist propaganda to a T, perpetuating the female victimhood mentality that is so prominent in today's TikTok that I also believe is kind of detrimental to our society. But who cares what I think? I'm a man. Basically, it has the same sort of energy where you watch women in expensive cars with expensive phones telling you that society wants them to fail while they're also boasting about having their own home and a great education, while ignoring the obvious privileges that they have in this country that overshadow any other country in the world. It's like when a rich person complains that they can't have a Gucci bag that's sold out. It's got that sort of vibe. And from someone or someplace where they don't have such luxuries, this seems petty, insignificant, and childish. I really couldn't come up with any punchline for this ending. Or maybe that in and of itself is the punchline. The sad reality that we live in, where Hollywood sells us all derisive content and everyone buys into it, while believing that they are the underdog and the absolute victim, while eating their Panera bread in a $40,000 car with a $2,000 phone. This is America. Ignorance in my area.